What's going on, guys? Joey Franzo here with Flex Training Systems. It is Friday, December 1st. December. What a great month. What a month of reflection. How are you guys doing? Today, gonna be talking about myself a little bit. I didn't really know how to start this video off, but essentially I wanted to talk about some of my goals for the Arnold, and then just coming to terms and realization of a couple things. It's not too big of a deal. I made a post last night, and looking back at the post, it kind of seemed more of it looked like I was making it a bigger deal just by keeping it vague than it was. I don't know, you guys might think it's a big deal. I don't really think it's that too big of a deal, but hopefully, by me sharing with you guys where I'm at, it can give you guys some perspective, with your own lifting and what your own goals are. So, what am I talking about? Last night I made a post on Instagram that I was adding in a third day of benching per week, and that was to start to get my body ready and used to benching 3 times a week. The Arnold's coming up. After nationals, I kind of, even leading into nationals, I wasn't really doing I have splits that I know work really, really well for myself when I'm healthy enough to do them. I just want to get back to that for this meet, because at this Arnold, I'm going to really give it my 100%. I'm gonna do my best to be as strong as I can, so that when I take what's there, and what's there is better than I've ever done before at 105. My best meet ever is at 120, although it was a light 120. I'm down 23 pounds still from that point, from how heavy I was. So the challenge is going to be to try to hit those numbers or get close to it, being down all this weight. So yeah, I'm getting in shape for the Arnold. I'm adjusting my split. I'm, hitting lower body 3 times a week, benching 3 times a week. In my post, I said that this could be the last Arnold I ever do. Now, when I say that, it seems really, almost like oh shit, like what's going on? You know what I mean? And then I went back and I edited the post, because I didn't want people to think anything, I didn't want people to think anything, I didn't want people to be worried or anything. And immediately, I got a bunch of comments and DMs, and I was like, okay, I need to change this, because I don't want to give off the wrong idea. So basically, what I was getting at was that the Arnold, it's a special meet for me, because it's really the highest meet I can get to at my level. It's just gonna get harder and harder every year. They keep increasing the will. I am assuming it's gonna go up another 10 points like it always has. The past, I don't even know how many years. I would imagine at some point they don't increase it, just because the rate of increase is faster than what the population of powerlifters that compete for that competition can keep up with. But who knows? And the reason why I said that I didn't know if it was going to be my last one or not is because this last nationals, it was kind of a special thing. I did the Arnold at 120. That qualified me for nationals as a 120. I could lift at 120 at the Arnold or at nationals. That would allow me to just, handle everybody else, make sure that everyone's taken care of, and then, I can do my thing at the end. So it worked really, really nicely. There was only one lifter that I wasn't able to help, that competed in the 120s. Most of my big guys, for whatever reason, didn't show up to this nationals. That they just said, hey, I'm going to chill out this year so I don't have to travel and do it when it's on the West Coast next year, et cetera, et cetera. But ironically, I have a lot of my heavier guys competing in the next 10 days. So that'll be nice to see some big numbers flying. Anyway, this last nationals was it was just like a weird situation because I saw an opening. I was like, okay, I could still compete if I compete at the end of the week, and there's only one lifter that I'm not going to be able to handle. I can have Tina take care of him, and he's done well on his own in terms of like not having a handler. So I wasn't really too worried about it. And I ended up doing, despite feeling the worst I've ever felt before a meet ever, I did all right. I did fine. If I would have hit that last deadlift, which I did lock out, could have gone either way. That's just how my deadlift is. It was a PR to even lock that out. It would have given me a PR total, and it would have been a perfect 9 for 9 day, and it would have changed a lot of things. But I have a chance for redemption at this Arnold coming up. I don't have to worry about 30 people before. And, I can just kind of go in there and focus on my lifting, which is very rare unless I decide to compete. Like last year, I traveled to Vegas and did a random meet where, none of my lifters were competing, so I could perform well. I ended up putting 50 pounds in my total in like 5 weeks. Granted, I believe that strength was in me. Like I had the ability to lift that weight. I just couldn't materialize it because nationals is a very taxing ordeal. That being said, this coming nationals, so 2018 nationals, my goal has been for ever since earlier this year in March to drop down, to eventually compete in 93s. Just as a person, just I feel better that way, just lighter. And I just think for health reasons, it's better for me to drop down. And it's almost like a new challenge. When you've been lifting as long as I have, you need to... Yeah, I could have just stayed 120 and kept grinding away, and I probably would be squatting in the 7s and hitting way more weights right now, but I just didn't... My quality of life was suffering from being so heavy, and I didn't enjoy existing. So, who knows? I might go down to 93. I might stay in the 105s. Regardless of what I do, that means at nationals I'm not going to be around. I think part of the reason why I've been able to do so, I'm not trying to be cocky or anything, but I think part of the reason why I've been doing well is because I've been able to oversee everything personally, and I haven't really had, there's no like miscommunication between me and like someone on my staff in quotations, you know what I mean? I could just kind of go in and focus on the lifter, and it's just really nice when I can prep an entire a lifter their entire prep and then see it through on the day. It's a very special sense of it's just very rewarding for me. It's almost like raising up a not a person, because I've never raised up a person, but I would imagine it's rewarding times a million. It's just seeing something through to the end. I don't know. It's just the way that I've done things, and if I were to compete and try to make another Arnold, 1, it's going to be a harder Wilks. 2, I'm going to be lighter, so it may even be more difficult. 3, like let's say I go 105. And for example, Mikey and Luke, they compete against someone who's in the running and they're competing for a world spot. And let's say I miss that session and somebody makes a mistake and then they end up losing an opportunity that they may never get again. That I'm not okay with. So that's why I like to be there. And then eventually the Wilks is probably going to be higher than what I can attain, unless I were to give all my energy and everything that I have into focusing on being, the best powerlifter that I can possibly be, to the point where, if I did that, I wouldn't want it to affect my coaching, right? Because that's what I do most of the time. I sit all day and I'm just constantly answering messages, emails, and writing training. I don't want to mess that up. I don't want to ever, let what's going on with my people like kind of fall to the wayside. So in order to keep that a priority, sometimes my lifting, I believe that we can only put our energy into so much. Granted, I've trained myself to be able to put it into a lot. As Flex Training Systems has been growing, I've been trying to figure out new ways to integrate more, like to take on more people. And once I feel comfortable with the loads that I have, and or I find time here or there, then I can add more. So I've worked my way up, and I think I do a good job of balancing the amount of work that I have and just my time when I'm not working. And that was like kind of a struggle for me in the beginning, because I was always I was letting work bleed into other areas of my life. But yeah, now we're getting into other crazy things. So eventually, I don't know how many Arnolds I can keep up with, but I'm going to try to do as many as I can. And I don't want to sacrifice, doing well at the team, doing well at nationals, because I'm not able to be there. Granted, as time goes on, I'm starting to build trust and relationships, with certain lifters and people that have been with me since like day one. So, if I have to have somebody handle someone, who knows? That's why I edited the post, is because I don't know. Maybe I have no 93s compete. I mean, that's obviously not going to happen, but who knows? Like maybe they compete after me, or there might be a way. So I didn't want to make that a definitive thing. And I didn't want people to be worried about me, or maybe I'm hurt. My health is kind of like a thing. Like my, who knows how much more my back can take. I am 27, going to be 28. So hopefully we can give it another 7 to 12 years. You know what I mean? Before the body shuts down. But I'm not going anywhere. I didn't want anyone to think I was gonna quit or anything like that. It was just my selfish wants as a lifter has to be. I have to always consider, what if I want to go all out, then what does that mean for everything else? And you don't want to half-ass. I don't want to half-ass coaching to be a good lifter. You know what I mean? Absolutely never will let that happen. So I just kind of find little slots where I can to kind of compete and hit new milestones. But yeah, that's really all that I meant by that post. I say that I want to drop down to 93, but maybe I'll have more fun and I'll be happy, just kind of hovering around 220. I can probably still put up a respectable Wilks. It just depends. And if my deadlift can come up, the more body weight that I lose, that's going to be even better. Which I'm kind of, I kind of have a sneaking suspicion that's what's going to happen. But we'll see. I just kind of wanted to keep you guys informed for those that care about what's going on with me. I was telling this to one of my girls yesterday. Sometimes I feel like, nobody cares really what I do. They just care about what my people are doing. But I mean, I know that's not the case. Not that I need anyone to care. It's just, the longer I do this, the more I realize you should just focus on what matters and not really worry about what anyone thinks. Which is how it should be, like in everything. But yeah, guys, a little bit of a kind of just me talking to you video. It's nice to kind of come on here. It's almost like therapy. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm going to do this next Arnold. I'm going to give him my everything. And, if I'm really content, maybe I take a year off to kind of drop some weight and figure things out. And just really go ham with the team and coaching and all that, which that's never going to stop. But, or maybe I decide I don't want to drop weight anymore. Who knows? But yeah, guys, so how does this help you? How can this apply to you? It's just good to be real with yourself and kind of understand that, if you're not, like, if I don't constantly train and try to get better, who knows, this could be my last Arnold if I slack. If I keep pushing and I want to do 5, then then that might be the goal, and I was telling this to Russell the other day. I was saying, what's better than being a 1-time champion, 2-time, 3-time, 4-time, 5-time, 6-time, you know what I mean? I'm going to try to do it. We only get one life, and I want to do as much cool shit as I'm here. I don't want to just send people to Worlds. I want, 10 national champions. I want, you know what I'm saying? So, in order to do that, a lot of it is luck, but a lot of it for sure as hell is hard work and just, being consistent and making it happen and keeping it moving. All right, let me get a hashtag keep it moving in the comments below. Thank you guys for listening. We got product reviews coming. I know I've been saying that, but I really, you know, I had a sizing issue. I had to get everything again so I could really give you guys the best possible feedback before I put it out there. And then we're going to get an informative video immediately after this. Alrighty, guys, thank you so much for listening. Keep it moving in the comments. I'll talk to you in the next one. Peace.